At the end of the day, don't try to please anyone else. Fuck what everyone else thinks. Please yourself and the rest is gonna follow. Dalton stock is ever evolving. I'm always changing. Right now, I'm just a kid with a dream, and I'm trying to make it happen, you know what I mean? You ask me this question in a year, the answer is going to be totally different because I'm always changing. Ask me this question 3 months ago compared to now, the answer is still going to be different. I'm always trying to evolve and always trying to change for the better. Well, there are two ways that I look at it. I look at it in terms of like life in general and then musically. Musically, my journey got started my freshman year of high school. We did this thing, this talent show thing, right? And so at this point in my life, I was like enthralled in hip-hop culture and religion. So naturally, I did a rap song about Jesus Christ, and it was really weird, and it was really bad. And I've never felt more embarrassed in my life. But had I not taken that step, I probably wouldn't be doing music as a passion and as a pastime and as a promising career right now. So from then, I did like stuff throughout high school. You know, I experimented with like stage work and musical theater. Experimented with there was a choir that we did. So that's what music has been like. Life has been quite different. It's been very. There's been a lot of trials, so to speak. I come from a single-parent household, and I'm an only kid. Growing up without a dad has been kind of a struggle, but you know, life happens, and life gives you what you need. And I'm thriving despite my situation, which is really, really cool. My biggest accomplishment, I mentioned, growing up without a dad. I think it's an accomplishment in and of itself to say that statistics were not in my favor because statistically speaking, as a young man without a dad, I'm not supposed to be successful in any sort of way. I'm not supposed to be thriving in any sort of way, but I am. I kind of went against the mold and said, I am going to do this. I am going to make a good life for myself. And I was lucky enough to have a great foundation with my mom. My mom, growing up was able to put, awesome values and awesome morals instilled into me until I could get to the point to where I could make those choices for myself. And that foundation kind of helped when it came time for me to say, okay, this is what I want me to be as an adult. And growing up and going through life, this is how I want to be. So my biggest accomplishment is going to have to be probably just being who I am, despite all the bullshit that's going on. You know what I'm saying? One day you're gonna leave me, it's inevitable, but that's okay. I'm used to it by now, and now I'm wondering how. I thought that us could be any different, but fuck it, don't feel like changing the subject because the one that I'm on will never truly be gone because it's happened before and it'll happen again, but it's not a matter of how, more like a matter of when, and then I'll be in the same boat as before and find comfort at the bottom of the bottle, that's for sure. Baby, don't go, cause what we had was so dear. I thought the answer was so clearly seen. Stay for one more night, and it'll be alright. I'll say the same thing in the morning. The day of your departure is here, and apparently the answer will never be so clearly seen. You're walking over to give me a kiss, but this is the only moment of ours that I wish I could miss, and fuck it. I kind of go to stage, like when I'm on stage, for motivation. And what I mean by that is when I'm playing to somebody, regardless of if it's this mass of people or 10 or 15, they never ever fail to give me energy back. And that's probably one of the most motivating things. Like for example, when I'm on stage playing one of my songs and I say, sing this back out to me, having the audience sing that back to me is probably the coolest thing that I've ever felt in my entire life. And that motivates me to keep doing it regardless of if I fail or regardless of if I succeed a little bit or if I succeed a lot. Yeah, my favorite artist is probably going to be kind of a shocker. It's this guy from England. He's got red hair and he's super pale. His name's Ed Sheeran. The reason I like him is because he's super diverse. And anyone who's ever seen me play, they notice I use a loop pedal with 2 microphones and my guitar. He uses the exact same setup, and that's where I get that from. And his songs range from like super like poetic and ballad-like to hip-hop to pop to acoustic rock. He's all over the spectrum, and I really try to integrate things from him into my live performances. And so that's where I got the loop pedal from. One thing that's cool though, someone said, I noticed the Ed Sheeran similarities, but you don't sound like an Ed Sheeran knockoff, which was kind of a big thing for me because I don't want to be a knockoff of somebody. I want to be my own artist, but I still want to take as much away from anybody that I can. But he's definitely my favorite.
And musically I'm demonstrating when I perform live feels like I am meditating. Times at the Enterprise when some fella filmed me, young singer rising like a Gabriella chill me.
Best thing about being an artist, if I can inspire one person being an artist, that's what I strive to do. I look at my hands. When I was born without thumbs, and the doctors, what they did is they took my pointer finger and they moved it over and made me thumbs. So they kind of repurposed my fingers, and so now I can play the guitar and do stuff. So if I can inspire someone with another disability, regardless of if they're someone who loves baseball but they only have one arm, or if they love soccer but they only have one leg. I love music and I love playing the guitar, but my hands are a little different. If I can inspire one person in the same way that an Ed Sheeran inspires me, or a Beyonce inspires a little girl, or the way that Jennifer Lopez inspires another girl from the Bronx, you know what I mean? If I can inspire one person, that is definitely the best part about being an artist. I've never properly recorded anything outside of my bedroom and with my smartphone, and those recordings are always really bad. So I have a friend who's also a musician. When you live in Nashville, everybody's a musician. So I'm going to do some stuff later today. Later tonight, I'm going to go over to his house. He's got some like home studio stuff. Nothing crazy, but I'm just going to get that under my belt. Record some of my songs, see how they sound. If they make an EP, great. If they just kind of sit in the dark for a while, great. I'm going to do something with it. I don't know what, but that's what I'm currently working on right now. That's a very interesting question because I have a really vague answer. I don't think you can allow yourself to have an ultimate goal, and because if you do, if you reach that ultimate goal, you stop. Like, you stop grinding, you stop doing what you set out to do, because you reach your goal and you're like, okay, now what? There was a guy, I don't remember his name, his last name was Marley, and he was a reggae artist, go figure. But he just won some Grammys this past year, but that wasn't it. Like, he went straight back to the studio the next day and started putting out awesome songs. So if you have an ultimate goal, that's great, but have something past that. Have more than an ultimate goal, because if you have one set ultimate goal, you'll reach it, you'll attain it, and then you'll kind of be done because you don't really have anything else to do. The people that I played for the first time were super positive and said, hey, keep doing what you're doing. You shattered all expectations being a newcomer. We thought that you weren't going to be as good as you were. You have the potential to be something great someday. And I truly believe that. So just the prospect of being great, embodying greatness, it takes steps, and those steps that it takes, require some boldness and some courage. And so I think that's where I get it from.
Listen, fuck it, I love the subject I'm on, because I'm pouring out some feelings I've let in for too long. And don't get me wrong, I'm not angry, I'm scared of what'll happen while you're gone, and now you change when you're there. And if you still love me like you promised you would, I don't know about the future, but I wish that I could, and I wish that it wasn't undecided. But it's time to focus on the present, there's nothing like it. Baby, don't go, 'cause what we had was so dear. I thought the answer was so clearly seen. Stay for one more night, and it'll be alright. I'll say the same thing in the morning. Baby, now don't you leave me on my own. Remember when you said I'd never be alone. And baby, now don't you